being a sound engineer has been a journey the past 20 years. Working with various artists like Kali Buds, was with Tribal Seeds for like 9 years. Various artists in between that. A lot in the reggae rock scene. Traveled with Soja and stuff pretty much all over the world. It's just always been in my blood since I was a kid.
And then how did you get into like playing with these bigger bands?
Good question. It was just the most interesting time of my life. And just being able to travel so young. That time of my life was just the beginning of like what was to unfold.
What is it about reggae rock that you like?
Well, they do say reggae is, there's the Nyabingi drum, which is like the foundation of like music and the heartbeat of the earth.
Ooh.
And there's,
Wow. I want to know where you, like how you ended up coming to Hawaii, right?
okay, that's a good question.
Yeah.
And then sold the RV, went on tour with Mike Love, and then we ended here, and then I just stayed. It's just, man, it's such a journey.
What is your take on surfing?
Yeah, you're riding energy from hundreds of miles away that came to you. It's pretty impactful. And then if you can harness that energy and put it back into the world, like then you've just won in life.
Hey guys, welcome to the Conscious Flow podcast. We're your hosts, Kevin and Marley.
Hey guys.
Our guest today is Steven Sullivan.
Hello.
Steven, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. Can you give us a brief introduction of yourself and some of your accomplishments?
Starting off in 2005, I went to school for being a sound engineer. So that, I would say, is my biggest accomplishment. Since 2019, I started my own project doing my own artist under the name of Sound Destroyer. And yeah, as far as accomplishments, that's kind of what I focused on, is music my whole life. So being a sound engineer has been a journey the past 20 years. Working with various artists like Kali Buds, most recently for like 3 years. And then before that, I was with Tribal Seeds for like 9 years. And then various artists in between that, sometimes working one-offs. But a lot in the reggae rock scene. Traveled with Soja and stuff pretty much all over the world. Doing shows, and that's kind of been my biggest accomplishment. And then moving here and trying to become a surfer, not professional surfer, but just better at surfing, has just been a lifelong journey, and an accomplishment, I would say, is just to oneself.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And so you do like primarily reggae music?
Yeah, it's in the reggae rock genre. I've always loved reggae rock. It's just always been in my blood since I was a kid.
Yeah. And then the surfing, yeah, that's an accomplishment in
Yeah.
itself. I want to get into that definitely in a little bit. But with the music, like what got you into music?
Man, that's such a deep question. So what got me into music is, man, just, I guess I was born with it, because I've always been a strong, like, just feeler of music. So always just playing records when I was a kid. Oh, my parents like records machine, and they just messing with their stereo system. And my grandfather was a singer, so I guess it got some from there. But reggae music in particular, I remember I've had some cassettes growing up, but my first CD I ever bought was the Cool Running soundtrack, and that had like the Wailing Souls and Jimmy Cliff on it, and I used to spin that all the time, and then I just always loved reggae music from then on out. Yeah.
And then how did you get into like playing with these bigger bands?
Good question. It's funny because MySpace came out, man, early on, like 2000, early O's. And so I graduated school. I actually graduated school and then got a lead on a job to join Ringling Brothers in Barnum and Bailey, the circus. So that was like my first touring gig when I was like 19. And I traveled around the country with the circus, elephants.
Oh my gosh.
And like not tigers, but horses and trapeze artists and things like that. So
Did you ever get to ride?
No.
elephants, or
I remember. So I was doing sound, and like there was a conductor and a 7-piece orchestral band up there on the tier. Like as you open up the curtains, there's a band above there, and so I kind of was in charge of flying the speakers and everything like that, and doing monitors for that band. And it was just the most interesting time of my life, and just being able to travel so young, and then being with the circus, it was very surreal.
Right. Where were you going in the circus? Like, was it in the States? Or?
Yeah, it was in the States. Mainly the East Coast, just because my time there was short. Not that short, but it was shorter than most others. We were doing like regional East Coast. There's 3 types of units in Ringling Brothers. They have like a blue, red, and gold. I was the gold unit, and it was predominantly like smaller towns, like around the bigger cities we would go to, but still do like arenas and things like that. But
And what was your role? Would you play an instrument or?
oh no, I was a monitor engineer.
What is that?
So a monitor engineer controls the monitors of the players. So as the players, like the drums need to hear like their kick drum and need to hear the guitar player, I'll allocate what instrument goes to who and how they get the volume in their ears.
Whoa.
So that way they can hear each other while they play, and they're not, flying blind. So
Yeah.
that was my role. And doing front of house as well. So I would do front of house for the pre-show, but
Would you say that was challenging?
it was challenging. It was just a very interesting life. In the start of my career. So it was definitely a time where I look back and it's just surreal.
Was somebody teaching you like how to do this sound stuff? Or were you
I went to school, graduated, and then I was really just on I forget what they were called, but somebody who would appoint like job leads in that school, and I became friends with her, and like just give me the first lead you got, like please, anything. So I just was really eager to get out, and then I learned enough, and then when you do enter, they just give you the rundown of like, this is our console, this is how we operate, this is the band, like whatever. And then after a day or two, you gotta get it, and it's kind of like a set it and forget it, just building and tearing down.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you traveled all over.
Mainly the East Coast until I was like, man, this never ends. It's a never-ending tour because they're constantly practicing and then starting a new week in a different location.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people grow up in the circus, and it's like become like their family bloodline is like being a performer, and whether it's a contortionist or a high wire act, or it's just really crazy.
That's really
It's a really interesting life they live. So to see it
Yeah.
firsthand and like be a part of it was just like, whoa. I would wake up every morning and just be like, where am I?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How long did you do that? for?
So 9 months. Crazy
Okay.
story. I'll not get too far into this, but it's like I had some friends in Baltimore. We were actually passing through, and one of my friends was going through some heavy times, and I was like, hey, why don't you come out here and you can just start working, because they're always looking for people to do concessions and like sell snow cones or like sell the novelties, like pamphlets or whatever about the circus. So I was like, oh, maybe he'll want to join. So I invited one of my friends, not like too close of a friend, but he was close enough, and I invited him to come out, and then he invited a friend, and then that was a couple weeks later, and then he was kind of a screw loose, got into a fight with the high wire guys, these Venezuelan high wire guys, and then it was a big brawl like outside my trailer door.
Wait, high wire.
They they go like, I'd have to say 50 feet, 60 feet, maybe, could be higher, and then just go on the tightrope
They walk it.
and they walk it.
Whoa.
I mean,
they hold something?
Yeah, they hold
'Cause you're,
they hold like maybe a bar or something to keep them
Okay.
balanced, and they do like tricks up there.
And they were all Venezuelan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So these guys are talented athletes, and like this guy was drunk, and
Oh no.
And then there was this big brawl. And then after that, I was like, man, I don't even want to deal with this because they're attached to me. I was like, I'm just going to quit. And then I took a bus back home because we were in like North Carolina, so I wasn't too far. And I was like, but yeah, and that ended my journey. I was probably with them for like probably almost 9 months, probably 8 months or something.
Were you
steady
bummed about leaving, or was it kind of
no,
your
because
time?
if I didn't leave then, it could have been years. I could still be there now.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
That's
something
and,
that
and you've seen that like with the families and they're just in that.
How old were you?
I was about 19. I remember it being like New Year's Eve and just being in the bus and going to this next town in like Florida or something, and I was just like, whoa, what is my life right now? It's so weird. But
Yeah, the circus is weird. I mean, I remember going to one growing up in my
Yeah.
hometown, and they would just, everybody would like set up in the soccer field once a year.
oh wow, yeah.
And just like a whole nother world in there. And then you realize these people are just doing that for their lives and traveling around. And
Yeah.
People can bend their bodies in these crazy ways. And what are they also jumping off of? I'm picturing like, I don't even know if I've been to a circus. I've just seen movies maybe.
Yeah.
But like the thing where they jump off like a beam into like a tiny pool of water. Is that-
Yeah, there's particular stuff like that. There's
Yeah.
like the clowns and stuff, and
Yeah.
that might do like some stuff like that. But there's I forget what they call it, trapeze. Like I
Okay.
guess where they're doing like jumping off beams and then flipping another person and then doing like a tower of people and stuff like that, like all kinds of crazy stuff. But that time of my life was just the beginning of like what was to unfold. And
Right.
from there, that's where, going back to the original question, was how do I get in with these bigger bands? So that job gave me the confidence to email like anybody and everybody in that industry I was interested in. And so I was on MySpace and would message all these bands like, this is my experience. I went to school. I have this like accolade, I'm an engineer. And I would just attack it that way and just emailed and messaged everyone until I got hits. And then I got one hit, and it was to go on tour with Slightly Stupid, working with this opening band that was on Stupid Records. They were called Outlaw Nation. And then that was an experience going to travel with them. And so many stories in between all these stories. So I don't want to get too elaborate on all these stories.
Right.
But yeah, that's what started me in just the touring world. Starting with the circus, and it gave me the confidence to just email. I got some leads. That lead in particular being on tour with Slightly Stupid. I don't know if you've heard of them. San Diego reggae
not
rock
sure.
band.
no, I mean, I'm actually pretty bad with bands because like, I don't know
Fair
what
enough.
what you think of Spotify now, but
Yeah.
because I just have like a Spotify radio going, I never even like, I'll like a song and now I won't even really know who the band is because it's just like the Spotify radio is just
Yeah, it's
going
just
and it's suggesting
feeding.
music.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So is this what kind of music?
It's reggae rock, so it's
Okay.
pertaining. So that kind of opened
Yeah.
my field into the reggae rock world. So working with them, there was another band that was opening for them, and they were like, "Hey, we got some more shows going to the West Coast." And I was supposed to leave that last day of tour, expecting to go home, and I had a girlfriend at the time, and I was like, I have this opportunity. I called my girlfriend. I said, I have this opportunity to go finish another week or two of shows going to the West Coast with another act. And she was so mad. But I ended up just jumping in a van with another band, going to California, doing shows there, and then met another band there. They happened to live in my hometown. And then from there, I just kept working with reggae rock bands.
Wow.
And then it led up to the bigger acts and
yeah,
positions like production manager.
Was there ever a time like when you were emailing the people on MySpace that you were like maybe not feeling like you weren't getting any responses and like you might give up on the music thing at all? Or did things just kind of unfold?
Yeah, particularly back then, a lot of people wouldn't open the message. They were getting flooded just the way they are these days with like messages and high hopes of people like wanting to get into free shows or whatever like that. But yeah, there was a few that came back, but really I think what, got me more opportunities was just being involved with those people and just somebody seeing how I worked and my work ethic there, and them just inviting me to like do a tour and the same thing with the music thing at that time. If that didn't work out, sound, I was still creating music. I was in a band back then, my hometown, called Coastal Vibrations, and it was parallel, just as passionate about sound as I was about writing music.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's our dog.
No worries.
It's our alarm system there.
Yeah. That's really interesting. So did you ever play any instruments, or were you always kind of a soundboard?
Yeah, no. So parallel, sorry.
That's okay.
Parallel to doing sound, I was still involved with playing music as well.
Okay.
So with a group I had, it was like my closest friends. We had like 4 of us, and we just started this group, and we're playing a lot of shows and stuff. But then it became, the butting of the heads, and us not knowing, the role of being a player, a musician, and like knowing that role really, and is just really, I guess, broke us apart, kind of.
That seems pretty common in bands,
It
like,
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your band called?
Now my band is called Sound Destroyer. And
Awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So that's been a journey.
It's reggae rock.
That's reggae rock as well, just because it's just my passion and and the genre I'm in. So
Yeah. What is it about reggae rock that you like?
Oh man.
I know it's like
That's a good question.
It's hard to
No,
put
I'm trying
into
to
words, but
spiritually, that music has just like took me on a journey, like I don't know how to describe it, like across the universe, and like shown me like just this endless like love, and like how something has been created like that. I don't know, I've had those feelings and thoughts while listening to that music, or just being immersed in that, whether it's at a live concert or listening to that music just on my own back in the day. So I think that's the biggest way I can say it's just like a spiritual kind of thing.
Yeah, like it just resonates.
Yeah.
With you.
Well, they do say reggae is, there's the Nyabingi drum, which is like the foundation of like music and the heartbeat of the earth.
Ooh.
And there's and in reggae too, just having kind of like a spiritual background, like growing up, my mom always like talking about like God, and one of the things in reggae is like putting Jah first in everything, and that always resonated with me and always made sense to like, try to have morals and values and be righteous.
Okay, when you say Jah, I've heard that in a couple songs that I've listened to that I liked, but I don't actually know what it means.
Very, very good question. It's a deep question. So
Okay.
Jah is another name for God, but it's really the shortened version of what God's name is, which is Jehovah. And so it's just that shortened name, and I think in Rastafarian culture they just claim that name as God too.
So it's God.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like the sort of Christian God, or is it like like
it resonates with Christianity, and like I love the culture and everything like that, but there's definitely scholars out there that know this information better than I can, but I will give you my definition of it as best as possible and respectfully as possible. As far as repeat the question, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just wondering, when you say that like Jah means God.
Yeah.
Is that like the Christian God, or
Yes,
is
so it is the Christian God. Because
Yeah.
I would say God's name is Jehovah and his son, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Or if, people believe in the Trinity and stuff like that, then they're all one. Which
Right.
it still was separate at one point. But that's kind of the basis of what Jah is. And it is, the God, the Almighty Creator, the Almighty I. So...
Gotcha.
And in Rastafarian religion, though, obviously they believe that King Selassie was the reincarnation of Jesus, because he was like bloodline of Jesus if they track their bloodline. But
So is it almost its own religion?
It is because there was like a prophet, Marcus Garvey, who prophesied all this stuff, and he was very impactful into that region. And yes, and then when King Selassie came, like there was a lot of prophecies that were fulfilled, and then they proclaimed him to be, the second coming. So a lot of them,
and did that
Selassie.
Originate in Jamaica? Then,
I would assume it originated in Jamaica, but I know that other regions of the world, like in Africa too, embrace Rastafarian culture too, and it's such a beautiful, like, just religion and just way of life, because it's so natural, like all real authentic Rastas who live in the hills and don't partake in like Babylonian, sorry, this probably looks so white boy reggae, but the Babylonian cultures of society today, like whether it's in eating meat too, like they don't eat meat, they're very plant-based, of like what's life, like what brings life, you don't want to consume death. So it's very practical, like just logical type of like concepts that just make sense to me, and I think to others as well. That's where the music kind of unfolds to and blossoms from.
Wow, this is so interesting, because I was actually named after Bob Marley.
Oh wow, so fair enough, yeah.
And so it's just funny though, because growing up I was always really resistant.
Yeah.
I mean, we listened to Bob Marley all the time growing up, because
Yeah.
my parents obviously loved his music.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when I got older, I was like, I don't want to be like, I was named after this boy, and like, I don't know, it was just this weird resistance towards what my parents made me listen to or something. And so I kind of like shut myself off to like reggae or
Oh wow.
it's funny.
It's full blown like.
But it's not
it,
like
yeah.
now I'm like, well, that's where my name came from, and I'd like to know more about it. So it's really cool that we're sitting down and talking about this, and I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, respectfully of this culture and everything like that. Obviously, I'm a white boy with dreads, which is a huge, being in the scene. I don't care what you say. It's like they talk crap about other white boys with dreadlocks and stuff like that. And a lot of my friends I've got discriminated against just, a lot. It definitely changes the way people perceive you. It's just like slacker type of mentality, stoner, and like those, names come with the territory. But yes, it's a blessing to be named after Bob.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a
is.
blessing to
Yeah.
that your parents really, again, like spiritually probably captured that in their soul to even name you that.
It was,
so.
yeah, I mean, I think it had to do with, they were thinking about the name, and then I guess the nurse, she was saying to my parents, like right after I was born, she was like, oh yeah, the only music their whole family could listen to that they would all agree on was Bob Marley's music.
Oh,
and
wow,
so my
yeah.
parents were like, it's a sign, we're gonna name her Marley.
Wow. Fair enough.
So yeah, it's, I
Yeah.
think that was kind of the foundation of it. But yeah, and it's not like I'm still resistant towards where that
I
name
hope
came
not,
from.
yeah.
But when I was younger, it was I think it was just rebelling more against my parents than
Totally.
anything, you know, and like being like, I mean, my mom loves Eddie Vedder,
Cool.
and my sister and I would be like, Eddie Vedder, the bedwetter. I can't believe I'm saying this right now.
He lives in here
I
too.
hope he doesn't eventually listen.
No.
to this.
Hopefully he'll
but
come
it
on the
was like-
podcast and be like, I'm not the wetter.
Yeah, no, it's so funny. But we were just so resistant. We're like anything our parents, because I have a twin sister, so we're like anything that our parents love, like we're just gonna like go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I'm the
So-
same way too. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are.
but then circling back, and I've listened
Yeah.
back to Eddie Vedder, and I'm like, oh, this is really good music.
I remember the first time I heard like real reggae live, you know, I kind of got like chills. It was really cool. I was on St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands.
Nice. Yeah.
And just hearing it like around the beaches there at like the bars and stuff. And then I actually just so happened to be going there during Carnival. I don't know if you're familiar. Yeah. And
Carnival?
yeah, is that how you say it?
Yeah, it's like the Brazilian
Carnival.
way.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that existed. And then it like, I mean, the whole island was like shutting down to like
right.
facilitate this huge musical event.
Yeah.
And
That's-
it was so cool seeing it. So I ended up going to it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing Ziggy Marley live. I think it was at the zoo or something. And it was so good, and we were just dancing, and it also had a completely different vibe than other, I guess, other, what do you call them, festivals or anything. It was a little bit more like free-spirited and dance freely, and people seemed really genuinely happy, and I don't know, in like families, there was a lot of families there, and I don't know if that's how it is in like the reggae rock. Is
is,
Ziggy
yeah.
Marley reggae rock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's been intertwined with like the American reggae as well.
Okay.
But yeah, no, those festivals like I attend, like that are all like reggae rock, are really nice. It's not like you're at a metal concert and they're hitting each other and stuff like that and throwing bottles or whatever, you know, they do, but mosh pits. But no, it's really a really good vibe, family oriented sometimes, but yeah, it's a great scene.
So
Yeah.
you were you went on to be like the sound production manager, was that right?
Yeah, for a bunch of artists, but mainly Tribal Seeds. I was committed to them for many years and like building their production and like walking into their first situation and just giving them suggestions and working with another tour manager of mine. Excuse me. And we worked together just to build them a professional production, and that they could be consistent and really elevate the live show and just performing just aspects all around. So that's kind of been my role for the past, I guess, 20 years, evolving into a more production manager, front of house engineer, like going into that. I recently just came back last week, so.
Oh, right. Yeah, we were going to have you
Yeah.
on like
Yes.
last week, but you were traveling.
Yes. So I got back, just did an East Coast run, but opening my music and then doing sound, because then I get paid a little doing sound, and then I get to open and perform my music and share that. So it's really rewarding doing
Like
that.
your band?
Yeah, there's a local artist around here in Hawaii too, like Mike Love. I've opened up for Tribal Seeds many times, and then opened up for Kali Buds.
Okay.
Just around the country, and those have been great opportunities, but there's still a lot of work that I'm doing just in the background with like producing music, developing my sound and all that. So it's just a constant journey.
That's really cool. And
Yeah.
then I want to know like first off, like, I want to know where you, like, how you ended up coming to Hawaii, right?
Okay, that's a good question.
Yeah. And then like, I don't even know where you grew up either.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
East Coast, right?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
born in Maryland, and then from Maryland, I went to the Carolinas, met a gal there, and then didn't work out with her after so many years, and I actually moved here for probably 8 months, and then was touring so much I just ended up moving back to the Carolinas, actually moving up to Wilmington, North Carolina, and ended up getting stuck around there, but I was still working with Tribal Seed, so I would fly to San Diego like every other month, and so yeah, was stuck there for a while, bought a house there, and then was living that life, working a lot, touring just consistently throughout the years, and just like taking care of my property and stuff like that. And then I'm not gonna lie, I went through this breakup, and then there, and then I was just kind of already getting sick and tired of that lifestyle in Wilmington. There wasn't like enough waves, and there's like not a lot of good hiking there. It's very flat, but I always remembered this place has always like captured my heart. And then I was going on tour with Mike Love, and we were ending here in Hawaii, and so I premeditated to like rent my house out, and I had an RV, so I rode my RV to my dad's in Florida, and then sold the RV, went on tour with Mike Love, and then we ended here end of October of like 2 years ago now.
Okay.
And then I just stayed. And then
and you
here I
kind
am.
of knew you were going to stay.
I knew I was going to
sounds
stay
like.
because I
Yeah.
spent so much time on the mainland, knowing that like the climate in the mainland and just the outdoor activities, like we're just so limited there. And even though it's an island here and things are limited, but there's really endless of like really cool things you can do here in nature that are free, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And to raise a family here is like a dream of mine, or just in any island. But,
Yeah, so you want to have kids here on Oahu.
well, any island where
Yeah.
it may come, but I just always have seen myself, but
And do you have a special someone right now, or?
no, not right now. There's just been some pockets here and there, but nothing major.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just doing my thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
what we've seen. Like, just the kids that are growing up here are like living the life, and like, what a great place to raise a kid.
Crazy. They have no clue how good they have it. Like,
Yeah, there's
Wow.
so many babies here. People come here to maybe raise kids, and I'm not really sure, but
yeah.
maybe it's also we're just like in a very fertile place where people are like, let's reproduce because we're happy and life is good, and I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's the dream for sure.
Yeah, it seems like a really cool place to grow up. I mean, I do think, though, the kids seem kind of rough around the edges in some ways. Like, there's huge surf right here.
Right.
There's a lot of
And
dangers.
There's
Yeah.
10-year-olds surfing giant waves, and it's
Yeah.
really
Right.
interesting.
It is. No, I can see why you would think that, because
Yeah.
man, there's so many tourists too, like that will take advantage. So you have to be kind of tough to be around here. And I've always
Yeah.
respected that part of North Shore. Like early O's, it was a different place, I'm sure, and a lot more tough, I would say, than
Right.
it is now. But
Right.
yeah,
A different kind of tough. Like maybe, well, I don't know. I'm shocked by how young the kids are that I see surfing bigger waves than I would expect maybe
Oh, yeah.
a young kid to surf.
Yeah, like I've seen some 9-year-olds surfing shallow reef spots,
Yeah.
getting barreled, and I'm like just trying to muster up the courage to like take a little wave on the side and
trust.
Yeah.
Trust, I know. I'm in that same boat sometimes. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
But everybody's at their own level and their own like pace at surfing, and it's just, man, it's such a journey.
What is your take on surfing?
Oh,
You have a perspective on, I guess before we started recording, you mentioned, so you kind of have a perspective on what surfing is meant for? Or...
Yeah. Well, I mean, my outlook on surfing is just that it's just a lifelong journey. It's not something you can just, yeah, you can take a lesson and like get started, but eventually when you go out or you catch like a certain wave or catch this feeling, it's like this addiction that just goes off in your brain where you're just like, I need to surf as much as I can and try to capture that opportunity, one way or another. And then there's so many factors, especially here being crowded. You're just like, there might be the perfect wave that's coming your way, but somebody that's, in the lineup that's better or maybe has more of a right, a local's rights to take the wave can take it. Or, if you're in the proper lineup, then it's just their turn. You might just not get that wave. But it's such a gamble, and I think that's what's also addicting about it. But as far as being like a surfer and just embracing that lifestyle, it's so good for keeping yourself grounded. I would say just being in nature. There's a lot of times you don't bring your phone out there or anything. You don't have technology, so you just really can sit with yourself and obviously being healthy. And it's kind of a selfish sport because you want to be a little bit stronger than the next guy because you want to paddle a little bit harder to get into a wave if you have to paddle battle. So there's those factors. So it does keep you fit, and just eating healthy and kind of keeping an eye on the weather and stuff. It's such like just like a closeness with nature and essence to be just alive, and it just really gives you joy and satisfaction most days, where it's just life is a lot simpler than everybody's like chasing money and chasing fame or whatever. It's I mean I do music and stuff like that too, but I really just love the feeling that these things bring me. But
right.
Yeah, and you're kind of moving with the cycles of like the seasons and the tides and the storms.
Yeah, you're riding energy from hundreds of miles away that came to you. It's pretty impactful. And then if you can harness that energy and put it back into the world, like then you've just won in life. There's nothing really else, obviously, to reproduce and find a good partner in life. Like, there's really not much.
Right.
Like, gosh, like, I was spending time with someone actually recently where they're just chasing this dream so hard, and it's like, man, they've already won. Like, they've already reproduced, and you've already are living in the most beautiful place, and you're making money. It's just like you're already a trillionaire in like Ja's eyes. So
yeah,
it's it's just hard. Society.
Yeah, society, totally. I feel like we can attest to that.
Yeah.
And like, how do you make money in this world, like in an authentic way that feels good, and not get caught up in the rat race? And
it's hard. Guys, I'm trying to figure it out still.
It's a process. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that, so with the waves and the energy and all that stuff, yes. Moving here, I ended up not wanting to go back on tour because I did it for so long. So I still do a little tours here and there, but if I'm gonna play, is a bigger factor. So if I'm able to play and do sound, it's a good win-win for me.
Right.
But as far as devoting my time to certain artists and just being a full-time sound guy, I kind of want to get into something else. So that's where I'm trying to find my next path. Still want to do music and hit that hard, but you still have to make money. And that's where life has brought me at the moment as far as...
Okay.
I got, a tour this month, but in between that time, I still need to produce and be creative and stuff like that. So
you're trying to figure out your next path, is what you're saying, or what?
Yeah, well, just if music in the meantime, obviously I'd love my music to make that income. That's obviously the goal, but I don't need that to happen. It just need other ways to still like do sound engineering and do it locally. Just don't want to tour full time because it really takes away from putting myself first and like putting other important things in my life first.
I get that. Yeah, I feel like that's interesting because I'm in a similar transition right now where I've been doing energy work for the past 9 years. Reiki, I don't know if you know.
Oh, yeah.
Reiki. Yeah. So
Very
yeah,
cool.
just like the hands-on
Yeah.
healing, universal life force energy. I do a lot more than just Reiki. It's kind of multidimensional. I say do, but I'm actually taking a step back from right now from doing the one-on-one healing work. And it's really interesting because I feel like I'm just experiencing almost like an ego death, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't have to be identified as this healer all the time. Like I could be something else if I want to be. And it's really, we've been getting guided, I guess, to do this podcast.
Yeah.
And it feels like the most aligned thing for me. And I actually have way more energy just focusing on doing this podcast and stepping away from the healing work. And so I'm like, okay, this is feeling really good. And but I don't know, I feel like I'm in a similar place where I'm like, I don't know what my life is gonna be in moving forward. And yeah, it's really, I have another friend who's going through a similar transition, and so I feel like it's almost hard to be in this in-between state where you're like, who am I? Okay, what's my new path? What am I meant to do? But then there's also a need to just surrender to the unknown and just let it unfold.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, like when they switch, major jobs or something, they have like an identity crisis, but
yeah, that's what I've been experiencing.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Do you have like an idea of what you want to be?
Well, like I said, I'll still do the music always.
Right. And I'm
but-
still doing
Yeah.
Reiki sound baths and stuff, but I'm just not doing it in the same way.
Yeah. And I'll still do sound. So I own my own business as well, doing AV rentals. It's called Behind the Sound. I made it when I was touring as well. So, because I'm my own 1099, I made my own LLC, and over the years in between tours, I'll take on, like, it could be a wedding, it could be a PowerPoint presentation for pharmaceuticals, and I'll go and provide them a projector screen and an advancer, which has like a laser pointer, and you can just use the screen or do a webcast. So that's what I do.
Wow.
Right now, in the meantime.
Do you do weddings here? Because there's like a lot of weddings here.
If they need like a speaker or need some like DJ equipment, I can provide that. But I'll do stuff like that. Mainly I do PowerPoint presentations with like pharmaceutical companies, but that's what's been keeping me afloat, and it's been great because then I've been, even able to like grow better relationships, have these kind of opportunities, because usually this time of year I'm gone for months, or I'm here for a month, here for a couple weeks, and then go back out again. It's like, it was a very exhausting type of job. So but to be here and just kind of be immersed with the community and the culture here, it's just been like really nice.
And it is hard to leave, like once you leave and you come back, it's like you got to get grounded into the energy of the island. And
that's true.
So that's cool. You've got like your own thing going on with that. And like the pharmaceutical PowerPoints, that's
it works. They pay. So
okay.
Nothing crazy, but enough that helps me. So that's been a blessing.
That's great. I also think stepping back from one thing creates the space for other things to come in. And if you're like, if you're wanting to have kids and stuff, and you also have to create the space for that kind of lifestyle. And I am always thinking about, what am I creating space for in my life so that something else can come in? And is this thing that I'm doing really, really feeling good, or is it just blocking something better that can come in?
I think it's beautifully said, because I think that's so true.
Yeah, because you don't want to be traveling and then...
Yeah, well, I mean, even like, just meeting people, growing roots in one particular place has been tough.
We've been drinking the most deeply hydrating water out of this machine.
Hydrating water? What's that?
It's called Kangen water, and it gives a negative charge to the water through these platinum titanium dipped plates. And it also restructures the water into smaller molecules so that your body is more able to absorb it. So if you drink like tap water, it kind of just sits in your stomach. But this water, you can feel it just getting absorbed into your body.
Yeah, so I've had my Kangen machine for about 5 years. It's literally the only water that I will drink. We are 70% water, and so when you change the water that you drink, you change the whole foundation of your entire body. We believe in Kangen water so much. You can learn more about Kangen water in the link below. Back to the episode.
But now I feel like I've met a lot of like-minded people here, like David, who you guys had on, and he's such a good person, good wholesome person, and good to be around. So, and other friends that I've met, music and...
Right, and David's teaching us how to surf big waves with his
nice.
His breath.
I
work.
know. It's tough, man. He'll push you to the edge, but
yeah,
when it comes down to it, it's really important stuff.
Yeah.
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 It's cool. Kevin's been doing the rock running.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Underwater.
Super fun. Yeah. Found this little canyon that I rock run through.
Yeah,
Nice.
you want to... What is rock running for?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just you basically take a heavy rock and then you run on the ocean floor like 10 feet deep, and you just run as far as you can while you're holding your breath, and and it builds your lung capacity. So when you do get held under by a wave, you have more of a chance of surviving.
Yes.
I don't like it when he does rock running by himself. So
True,
now I swim with him, and I've
good.
also practiced saving him in the water to make sure that I could save him if he passed out.
Or something,
Because I don't know. I don't want you to pass out, but then sometimes I'm like, you should find a man that I know can save you while you're rock running, because that is a concern.
It is. What do they call it?
Shallow water drowning is
blackout, I think.
Yeah, it's one of like the leading causes of death in Hawaii.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wow, fair enough.
that's
We
just
should
what
have-
one
should
guy
have told
on
the gal
yesterday.
that.
No, that's what one guy on the beach said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, it could be true, because
Yeah.
you never know.
He was like, yeah, you got to be careful in the shallow waters. You could push yourself too hard, and then you're out like a light or something. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible. Wow, I wonder if that's a fact, but...
yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had like a crazy surfing wipeout or kind of like a close call here?
I mean, I've had a couple just surfing V-land. It's shallow sometimes, so just a lot of scrapes. Lost a fingernail one time, but had the board puncture me in between like my nose and cheek there, where I had to get stitches. Some crazy wipeouts, that are like getting thrown down a mountain, like in a huge car accident. Feeling like your limbs are about to just rip off of you.
Your car went down like...
No,
over.
I'm just saying that's the
feels
feeling.
like that.
Those are the feelings, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've taken some big wipeouts, and in those moments, that's when I think life can make sense, because sometimes you're just like, am I going to make it back up?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I've had I've had two
scary.
kind of hold downs where you're like, is this it?
Yeah, it's something to tell the significant other, because it's like, oh my God, they could be their last time.
Yeah.
But it really is. It's a dangerous sport, and I've had a wipeout one time where my board got submerged and popped out. It was just with such force, it hit me in the chin. I thought I dislocated my chin, and then I was like, "Don't pass out, don't pass out." And I was in this local spot, like surfing this hurricane swell, and nobody else was in this spot, and that could have been it for me. Then, yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
But
you didn't pass out.
no, I was like, "Don't pass out, please, don't pass out." I was just like on the verge of seeing stars, and somehow I just.
You almost kind of forced yourself to stay.
It was that,
conscious.
Or I could have been face down in the water, just.
Yeah.
Ow.
Have you ever had any shark incidences or seeing
no.
any sharks?
Oh gosh. Does it cross my mind every time? And do I want to be conscious of that? There's other life out there that could eat me. Yes. But as far as I think it may have been in like California, maybe. That kind of just was in the distance. That somebody pointed out to me. Maybe in Pacific Beach, I want to say. And definitely in like, I would say Myrtle Beach and South Carolina, smaller sharks, where you just see their fin pop up, but far enough distance, so nothing that got too close. But some of the horror stories around here you think about, and there's some with the most waterman guys out there, and they've got stories to tell that got too close or even died. So
Yep.
it's definitely possible, and it's
Yeah.
definitely something to be cautious about.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I wasn't so afraid of sharks, and I feel like I'd like to. I also feel like it's a respect to be afraid of sharks. Is you're respecting this being
Yeah, you're not just
that has a lot of power.
Yeah.
But honestly, for me, I like to just learn about them so that I can have a what do you call it? Have the knowledge so that whatever fear I feel, I'm like, okay, at least I know what to do if I ever saw a shark, or you're swimming in the water, you're supposed to make eye contact with it. There's little things that I've learned. Don't splash. That was one of the big ones.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Man, it's just all luck, I guess.
Do you know of any crazy stories here about sharks or surfing?
Yeah, I mean, most recently, I guess the guy Tamayo Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you guys see the signs
Yeah.
sometimes passing through town, but yeah, I mean, him, he was a huge pipe charger and just waterman, lifeguard, and for him to get attacked, I mean, geez.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so crazy. That was at Goats, I guess.
Yeah.
On the east side, but still close enough to here where it could happen anywhere.
Right, and it was in fairly shallow water.
I think
right?
so. Yeah, that's what I heard. So
Yeah.
man, it's so sad and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shocked me. I didn't know it was in such shallow water until one of Kevin's friends told us that. But yeah, we were thinking about going out to Goat Island on a paddleboard.
Yeah, my paddleboard right up there. We were like, we're going to go out to...
And then I think one of Kevin's friends was like, don't do that. It's not safe.
Yeah, I mean, with that story going around, I'm sure there's days and times where it's...
Yeah, I mean, I've walked
just
out
never
there
know.
at low tide.
Yeah.
I've walked out there
Oh, wow,
years ago when I came here on vacation with my siblings. We all walked out there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's spots where I don't know exactly where he was at. Maybe he jumped off the island to go swim to the break and the attack happened, but I'm not too familiar with that spot, but it's been kind of spooky to me now that incident happened.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody surfing out there.
Yeah, well, nobody, because they're spooked, but...
Totally.
Yeah, I think the main, from what we've heard, the main population of sharks is on, kind of the east side, Kahuku area.
Yeah. I guess I'm not going there, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I hear, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they could be anywhere.
But they can move around the ocean as they please. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably wrap this up here. Do you have any shout outs you want to do? Any links you want to drop? We can throw them in later.
Oh yeah,
And,
just Sound Destroyer stuff. They gotta plug that. Yep, Sound Destroyer in Instagram, and then on Facebook it's Sound Destroyer Music. YouTube, just look up Sound Destroyer, and then it's all on streaming platforms. So if you go there, you can look at the music there, audience, and yeah, like and subscribe on there too, please. But yeah, shout out to my mom, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But really, yeah, and everybody here in the community, you guys, thank you for having me. Yeah, and David for the lead, I guess, to get into this. But
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to you guys, I guess.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was fun. I mean, you guys are awesome to talk to, and just easygoing. So I liked the opportunity.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening and watching, everybody. Peace.
Peace.